Welcome, welcome. Woo! Welcome back.
Welcome.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello, hello, hello. This is where you say welcome.
Oh yeah, welcome.
Right.
Hot Shot Secret fan.
We've got storms rolling in from the right.
Lubing you right day and night.
And we're supposed to be powered by science.
That is very true.
We better be able to get two people on one shot somehow.
A lot of hard work that went into this. You know, it's something that we've been chasing for a year and a half to try to get this truck in the threes.
We are live.
We are live. Welcome.
Facebook Live, YouTube Live, we're live.
Both.
Yeah.
Hot Shots Live.
Hot Shots Live, that's much better.
Today we're talking about
Stiction Eliminator, yeah.
the original product. And so I'm going to start off the top real quick with my trivia question every time. What was the original name of Stiction Eliminator?
I know the answer.
Post it below if you know the original name when this first product came out. I want to see if anybody out there knows it. But we're going to be talking about Stiction Eliminator tonight, or this afternoon. Let us know where you're watching from. We always like to hear that.
Whoa, hang on. Who are you?
I'm Kyle Fisher. This is Steve Jobs.
So, you know, casual Friday. I thought I'd wear a nice sweater to work.
Steve.
Kyle's giving me a hard time about it.
Mr. Jobs. But we're dual streaming, as he said, YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you like and share the video, subscribe, follow our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. We're getting to that part of the year where all the content's starting to come back, so we got some fun stuff ahead. But today we're taking this back to the original. We're going
The original, yeah.
Stiction Eliminator, which is our flagship product. This is the one that started everything for us. So how do you want to dive in? You want to?
Well, first off, I like your question about what was this product originally called. We normally have a Chad cam. Do we have, is it, I guess, technically a Jake cam today? So Jake's going to be checking our comments. So if you got any answers, Jake, just shout them out whenever we're going through this. But I think first and foremost, a lot of people know it's kind of synonymous, Stiction Eliminator and the Huey injectors, right? We know that's not the case today, but let's start there.
Let's start there because it is a big issue with us a lot of times. And a lot of times people think this is a diesel product. A lot of times people think it's just a 6-liter 7.3 Huey injector product. So the truth of the matter is it started that way. This is what started the company. To give a little bit of background without diving too deep into the origin story, Chris Gabrelchuk, our owner, our founder, he's a tribologist. He's a lube guy. He was working big industry stuff, formulating different greases and oils for different problem-solving issues. And that's the time when the 6-liter came out and International built this engine, and they started having injector problems right away. So they reached out to the tribology community, seeing if there was a way they could solve it with the lubricant. Chris formulated Stiction Eliminator. Took about a year or so. He submitted it with Ford. Ford and International at the time were suing each other. Ford was about to go out of business based on all the warranty claims coming in from all the injectors coming up. And Chris's product turned out to be the one that Ford found works the best. And
9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, they measured it to fix 9 out of 10 Huey injector issues. And the funny part of that is a lot of people were attacking the problem on the fuel side.
Right.
So it gets a little confusing when we talk about these Huey injectors because
it's a fuel injector. What's oil? What's that got to do with it?
So the Huey, what's unique about it is it uses the oil from the engine. It's an oil-fed fuel injector. So it actually takes that oil to fire the pin in the injector. And that's where the problem was. So cleaning out the fuel side all day wasn't fixing it. Had to clean out the oil side. And that cleaning out the oil side cleans out those fuel injectors, gets them running. Now, the history ran from there. And we had a great product for these Huey injectors. To this day, all the 6.0s and 7.3s live off this stuff. They absolutely love it. It's great to keep those Huey injectors clean. It's the best way to do it. But as I always explain to everybody, the tolerance in the Huey injector is very, very tight. And to get the oil flow in there and get it cleaned out takes a very fine product to get into that tight tolerance and clean it out. So if this is the best product in the market to clean out the inside of a fuel injector of a Huey, what do you think it's doing to the rest of the engine?
Right.
So therefore, this is the best engine cleaner on the market. It gets kind of pigeonholed into Hueys, but in reality, if it's got oil, Stiction Eliminator can go in there and clean it up. From gas applications to diesels, small engines, great on small engine, lawn equipment, stuff like that. So the application is far-reaching for it. So we really try to educate people that there's a lot more use than just the Huey. So today we're going to try to focus maybe a little bit on non-Huey application and why it still
non-diesel,
works.
yeah. So kind of a quick synopsis on the start, but we have a video from the man himself, Chris, talking about development of Stiction Eliminator.
Cool.
I know what it's like to be disappointed by products that don't do what they claim to do. That's why I'm motivated to build products that fix the problem the first time. I was asked by International Engine to come up with a solution to the failing injector problem in the Ford 6-liter engine. After years of product testing, the deal fell through and I was left with a product that I knew would fix the problem 9 times out of 10, but with no way to distribute it. That's why I came up with Hot Shot Secret. Right here in Mount Gilead, Ohio, in my 2-car garage with just 1 employee and 0 marketing experience, we began to navigate our way into the consumer market with our first product, Hot Shot Secrets. Now that's known as Stiction Eliminator. Shortly after, I got a call from a man facing a real challenge. He was told that his Ford 6.0 needed new injectors to the tune of $3,000. The problem is he didn't have $3,000 to spare. He relied on his vehicle to provide for his family. I knew that my Hot Shot Secrets would fix his problem, so I promised to give him all of his money back if it didn't work. He tried it, and a few weeks later, his injector problems were gone, and he was back to work. Being able to fix problems for $20 or $30 or $40 that would normally cost $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 is exciting. It makes me feel like we've accomplished something.
There you have it from the man himself.
There it is. Yeah. So before we dive into non-Huey, non-diesel applications, we know Huey injectors, power strokes. We got a video queued up one more time. Let's talk about the history of power strokes real quick before we get off the topic.
Cool, let's do it.
Today we're going to take a trip through history and explain the origins of the Power Stroke diesel. Some old school Ford fans might tell you that the 7.3 liter Power Stroke was the greatest motor ever to be put inside a Ford. So let's talk about what makes this almost 20-year-old engine so memorable. Ford's first Power Stroke engine was actually the 6.9 liter indirect injection, or the IDI engine. This first diesel engine only produced 170 horsepower and 315 foot-pounds of torque. It might not seem like much today, but back in the 1980s, that was quite the impressive feat. By 1988, the IDI's displacement was boosted to 7.3 liters. Power, torque was also boosted, although it was still a naturally aspirated engine. Although the IDI was at its peak, the heavy-duty F-Series was starting to face some stiff competition from the Cummins turbo diesel. So they created the 7.3 liter Power Stroke. This Power Stroke differed from the 7.3 liter IDI in one crucial area. It used an electronically controlled fuel system with direct injection, whereas the IDI used a mechanical fuel system with indirect injection. Depending on which engine, the 7.3 liter Power Stroke either produced 215 to 275 horsepower and 425 to 525 foot-pounds of torque. In 2003, Ford decided to ditch the 7.3 for the 6 liter. Their logic was sound, it was more powerful, and due to strict new government emissions requirements, it just made sense. Unfortunately, some 6 liter Power Stroke parts were prone to failure, including the oil cooler, the EGR cooler, high pressure oil pump, and the head gasket, among others. So upgrade parts and kits have been created to bulletproof the 6 liter. Knowing the Power Stroke was not performing so well, the 6.4 liter was designed to improve reliability and save the engine's reputation. The 6.4 liter was an improvement, but was short-lived and only used in the 08, 09, and 2010 models. The 6.0 and the 6.4 Power Strokes were so disastrous for Ford that they ended its partnership with Navistar, which was the company developing the Power Stroke engines, in 2010, and they began producing their own diesel engines. In 2011, the Ford Super Duty began using the 6.7 Power Stroke, which produced 390 horsepower and 735 foot-pounds of torque. 1 year later, Ford gave it a new turbo, upping that engine to 400 horsepower and 800 foot-pounds of torque. Then in 2015, even more changes bumped the 6.7 Power Stroke's output to 440 horsepower and 860 foot-pounds of torque. For a long time, the automaker only offered diesel engines in heavy-duty trucks, like the F-250, the F-350, but in 2018, it added its first ever diesel to the F-150 lineup. This F-150 came out with a 3-liter Power Stroke, which made 250 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque. So whether you have an old 7.3 liter Power Stroke or a new Cummins or Duramax, Hot Shot Secret's got scientifically proven products for your fuel and oil systems. All right, little rundown on the Power Stroke, little history lesson. Yeah. So let's move away from diesels, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about Stiction Eliminator in a gas vehicle. Well, any other application really.
Sure.
Kind of touched on it, but can I use it? Is it safe? Benefits?
Yep. Safe in all engines. Gas, diesel.
Doesn't matter.
Nope. The unique side of this product is the ability to clean and lubricate. So that's the real big difference. To set this apart from any other type of product where we're doing engine cleaning, the challenge has always been, there's products like Seafoam. I've used Seafoam before. It's kind of fun because it smokes everything out. You smoke out the neighborhood. But as everyone knows, you pour the Seafoam in. It's a very harsh solvent. It can dry out all your bushings and your gaskets, and that's why you've got to run it, get it out of the vehicle, and put fresh oil in.
You could dump and flush.
Yep, I like that. Dump and flush. So when this product was designed, it has no harsh abrasives in it. We have no harsh solvents in it at all. So we're going a completely different way about cleaning out the engine, and that's really with some high-end Group 5 esters, Group 4 PAOs that are taking it to a different level than just doing a harsh clean out with an abrasive. I always say it's kind of like the ability to, you remember when like Dawn dish soap is really good at stripping all the oil off stuff, but then it would make your hands really dry. Well, then they started introducing like Dawn with like oil of Olay in it or something.
Right, yeah.
So now you're like, wow, it cleans, but still makes my hands soft. Well, that's effective. I always have bad analogies, so that's one of them. But that's effectively what we're doing. So it's the ability to get in there and to clean and lubricate at the same time. You usually can't do both. The product's got to pick one or the other. Are we trying to lubricate the engine or are we trying to clean it out? That's what's so unique about this. This is why it's been around so long. This is why it's the #1 seller in the retail shelf for this. And again, even down to the gasoline engine or a lawnmower or jet ski, you name it. What we're trying to do is get that old built-up varnish out of that engine. So, you got a question?
Yeah, well, so we have a couple of comments. Matt Wells says, you guys have the best products on the market today.
Thanks, Matt.
Terry Howard doing a Friday shout-out.
Terry.
Hey,
Friday,
Terry.
guys. And then we have one question, and Kyle kind of already answered it, but I've always thought of Stiction being a diesel-only problem. Is that true?
No, it's definitely not true. This is it's kind of a great question. We almost wanted to survey just the general public of what they feel about the term
What's the
Stiction.
definition of Stiction?
The truth of the matter is that Chris kind of invented the word Stiction, and now it's a widely used term. It's in the dictionary. It's a real term. What it started out as trying to describe is sticky friction.
Yep.
Another way to look at it is, if you wanted to try to measure, and that's another bad analogy, is the point, friction's obviously the two surfaces, mating and touching. At what point can they slide off of each other? As stiction builds up, you create more resistance to that. That creates more wear and everything. So the simple way to describe stiction is a buildup of burnt oil. So inside of an engine, what we call the hot spots, where the tightest tolerances that you have get really, really tight and narrow, and then that's where the most heat builds up. If you look around all different parts of an engine, they're at all sorts of different temperatures, but the tightest tolerance spots get at such a high point of temperature, they start to cook the oil. And you'll have, that oil will start to burn out of solution, and you start to get a buildup. It's varnish, it's burnt oil.
It happens in every engine.
Happens in every single engine. It doesn't matter, especially on that side of things. We're on the oil side of things. That engine doesn't know what kind of fuel is making it run. It doesn't care. It's going to be on And they're building these engines with tighter and tighter tolerances now.
Every model. Yeah.
They're really extending these MPG gains, trying to get a lot of claims for efficiency and everything. In doing so, the tolerances have gotten a lot tighter. That creates more hot spots where you just can't pass through enough oil to keep it well lubricated. When it gets down to a really tight tolerance, you've kind of like funneled all that oil down to a really small valley, and it can heat up quite a bit. As that oil starts to degrade and burn off, it leaves behind an oil varnish, and that will bond to your engine internals. That starts to sludge everything up, slow everything down. And another bad analogy is this stuff is not easy to clean off.
No.
So it's kind of like when you take a sticker or a decal off your car and you left all that sticky behind, and no matter what you do, it doesn't come off until you get that right thing like alcohol. Right. The alcohol wipes it right away. That's actually what we're doing with that varnish in there. Now, what's unique about it?
Well, that's the question. Some people wonder if I got all this burnt oil, this buildup.
Yep.
I run this product through, and is it just breaking off chunks of burnt oil and varnish? And
great question. Thanks for that. So, truth of the matter is, no, we're breaking that oil, that burnt oil. We're basically building it back up to an oil again. So. Think of it this way, is that the oil, once it burns out on those tight tolerances and those hot spots, it's cooking off a lot of the oil and leaving behind the residue. The Group 4 and Group 5 esters that we have in here actually rejuvenate that. It's kind of like we're returning it back to a liquid form. Now, you ready for one of my favorite analogies I always tell?
Let's do it.
And look, I got a pop here. We're going to demonstrate. Boom. So when you pour, you like that?
Please don't. We have to use this set for other things.
We'll clean it up. So imagine we come back tomorrow. I spilled some soda on the table. That turns into like it'll be all gummy tomorrow. It'll be all sticky substance. Well, that's what it's like inside your engine when the oil breaks down and produces all this varnish there. Well, it's not easy to clean up. You can't get your hand inside your engine and scrub that or anything. So the best explanation I always have is we're returning that old burnt varnish back to a liquid form again. So imagine if this is tomorrow and now we have a sticky pad here. I wasn't in there. I can't get in there to wipe it off because it's inside the engine. But imagine if I had like a hot pot of water that I kept pouring over the surface here. And we slowly start wearing that down back to a liquid form. That's how we get it all cleaned and off.
That's good.
What's up, Jake?
So we got a bunch of shout-outs out in the chat. Josh Lawyer says, what's up? Don Pollock.
What's up, Josh?
Dan Van Horn. I'm going to try and burn through these.
Dan Van Horn. He's with our Munn Street Hemi Shootout, one of our new sponsors this year.
Warren Raya? Sorry if I'm butchering your name.
No, it's the Corona lockdown. We got all of our racers in today.
Roger Puffenberger.
I don't know Mr. Puffenberger, but welcome aboard.
Out of West Virginia. He's been on our chat a bunch of times, actually. He's chimed in out of West Virginia a bunch. And then Toot Howie?
Yeah, Toot. He's one of our local racers.
Yeah. But then we also have a question, which is, I use your FR3. Does this do the same thing as your Stiction Eliminator, or should I be using them both at the same time?
Great question.
Good question.
You want it?
Well, I had another question, which I think ties into that.
Right.
And my question was, you just talked a whole bunch about how Stiction cleans, but you also say it lubricates. So how does it lubricate, and how does that tie in with FR3?
Stiction Eliminator has, that bottle.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Here.
You need
Oh,
glasses?
yeah, my bad. Stiction Eliminator is an engine restorative and FR3 nano lubricant. So we blend FR3 into all of our Stiction Eliminators. So that's where you're going to find a lot of the lubricating side of things. So what's really unique, and to pick off the back end of the cleaning side, this is also a polarized product, just like the FR3 is. So it wants to find metal. So when it finds those hot spots, it gets attracted to the hot spot, it finds that varnish, it starts to return that varnish back to a liquid form and find its way to the metal. Then it bonds to the metal with our carbon nanotechnology that's in the FR3. So now you've not only cleaned, but you've lubricated past it. The Stiction Eliminator is, I believe, 62% wear reduction. So under a wear scar test, adding Stiction Eliminator to any of your oils will reduce the wear in that engine by 62%, which is crazy. While we're cleaning, we're also lubricating to the point of reducing wear. So it's just a different way to clean an engine. Now, that's also why you don't pour it in and it cleans in 2 seconds and you dump it out like a harsh abrasive chemical does, like with Seafoam or some other products that we're talking about. We actually can leave it in there for the full interval, and it cleans as it goes. So
if it's lubricating also, where does FR3 come in? It already has FR3 in it. Do I need to use both? Can I only use Stiction Eliminator? I mean, how's that combination work?
we try to describe it like a 2-step approach. So I always advise somebody, the first time you get a vehicle, if you're buying a used vehicle, the first thing I do is I run Stiction Eliminator in there. The older the vehicle, or if it's a diesel, it can actually run dirtier than gas, or if you just have like a barn find you're trying to rescue. The dosage we have on here is 4 ounces per quart. That is your deep clean. So I always start with that. Let's get everything cleaned out, get those engine internals looking brand new again, and then after that, you have a couple options actually. You can go with our maintenance dose of Stiction Eliminator, which just cuts that in half. It's 2 ounces per quart, which is going to keep that lubrication up. It's going to keep the cleansing packet up. It's just not as much of a deep cleanse because you've already cleaned it out. Or you can go to a full dosage of our FR3 friction reducer. That's kind of your step 2. So after cleaning out with Stiction Eliminator, you can run just our FR3 in the next 2, maybe 3 oil changes. And then we advise, at that point, maybe we come back to Stiction Eliminator for an annual clean out there before we go back to FR3. Got something, Jake?
Yeah, we got another Nick Caputo saying Happy Hot Shot Friday.
What's up, Nick?
Josh
one of our sponsored
Robinson.
racers.
Josh Robinson in the chat also saying everyone likes
Josh,
it clean and
OGR.
lubed well.
We got all
and
the
then we have
racers in today.
We have an actual question from Dan Zelton.
Another racer.
There he is.
Not sure if you guys have covered it, but I get the question all the time. The question is, does it break down the oil like the oil flush stuff does?
No. Matter of fact, it absolutely improves the oil. Use the term flush.
Right.
That was your term earlier. Those have harsh abrasive chemicals in it. So what those are going to do is they're going to basically dilute the oil. Since we got so many racers in right now, it's kind of like alcohol dilution. When you get the alcohol running over to the oil side, you're now losing viscosity in your oil. The oil's going to be thinner, and you're wearing it out. So those harsh abrasive chemicals do the exact same thing, and that's why you can't run them in the vehicle. They advise you to put it in there, run the vehicle, turn it off, turn it back on, then empty everything. You're basically wearing down the oil and diluting it. What we're doing, everything in this bottle, I guarantee you, is higher end oil than the oil that you're putting in your vehicle, unless you're using our oils.
Right.
That already has the stuff in there. So if you went and bought the bottom shelf oil at your auto parts store, the cheapest conventional junk you can find that has very little out of package, and you just added this product to it, you'd result in a pretty darn good oil. This has all the good stuff that a high-end oil has. We just use some very unique chemistry that Chris developed originally that we're on our 4th generation of Stiction Eliminator.
That's right.
So we continue to evolve the product. We introduced FR3 to it and so forth. So we're adding an additive package, both with our carbon nanotechnology and our Group 4, Group 5 esters with the Stiction Eliminator. So it's improving that oil. So it's going to give it a stronger film strength, which is where you see a lot of the wear reduction.
Yep.
And it brings the lubricity of that oil up, again, resulting in less wear. So, prolonging the engine's life while it cleans. So that's what's so unique about a lot of people don't understand is the dual capability. So you don't have to sacrifice a cleaning regimen and then putting something through that might dry the engine out and the gaskets and everything. No, we're going to improve the oil. So to Dan's question, all it's going to do is improve the oil. Even our best oils that we have here are using these same components. So it wouldn't even hurt them. It would match or improve them.
Yep. So it's doing so much, right? You just did a whole litany of everything that it does. If I add this to my oil, my next oil change, when am I going to start noticing the difference?
Good question. I don't know what our sheet says. I'll tell you what I say. It really depends on the application. I think the dirtier the vehicle is, the dirtier the engine internals are, you're going to start noticing something more, quicker than a pretty clean engine. And I will not name any names, but we have some of our dealers out there that use this product quite often. Their method is to put this in the crankcase and go drive the customer's vehicle very hard.
Right.
Drive it like you stole it because we really want to push it through the engine
Mm-hmm.
and return that vehicle to the customer with literally maybe 20 miles on it, and they can already start feeling the difference. Now, in all actuality, like we talked about wearing this varnish back down, it does come back down in layers. Like again, it's like I said, pouring hot water over. You're slowly melting it down. So the longer it's in there, the better. So at 500 miles, it's going to feel completely different. At 1,000 miles, it's going to feel even better. So those that see gains right away probably is a sign that you have
bad shape.
It's in bad shape.
Right.
But the great news is it's only going to get better. Which I want to address something else too. We also have some people that often call in to our customer service and say, man, I just put the Stiction Eliminator in my vehicle yesterday, and it has never run worse. Like, oh my gosh, what kind of product did you guys sell me? I was already having what I thought was an engine problem. This is supposed to fix it, and man, it's running rougher today. And I will say, well, how much time, how many miles do you have on it? And they might say, well, I just went to the store and back, I've only got 5 or 10 miles on it. So you say, okay, well, bear with it. It's cleaning. Let's get some more time on it and give us a call back. And sure enough, 10 out of 10 times, that person will call us back 2 days, 3 days later and say, you know what? I want a trip. I put 100 miles on it, and man, it's smoothed out, and now it's running better than it's ever has. So there is a cleaning process to it, especially on something that's very dirty that they feel right away.
This is an old Diesel Don analogy.
Diesel Don's watching. What's up, Diesel?
That I learned from Diesel Don. Think of it as like remodeling a house.
Uh-oh, you're about to give me a bad analogy, aren't you?
So when you start the remodel, you're demoing, your everything's all dirty inside the house, right? You got dust everywhere. It's all rough shape. Well, once you're done with the remodel, it looks pretty darn good. Right?
So we got some,
that's
some cleaning pains, some growing pains.
Right. So that's the Diesel Don analogy on Stiction.
And
getting through those rough patches.
Getting back to the question you kind of had earlier about, is it taking the chunks off and stuff, like maybe for a dirtier engine? The answer is no, because again, we're re-lubricating that old oil varnish. Now, anything that is of a larger particle size is just going to get picked up in your oil filter. So all of the anything that's a large particle that's will get picked up in the oil filter. The rest of it returns to a liquid form, liquid oil that passes through the oil filter. At the end of your oil interval, when it's time to change the oil, all of that old burnt varnish comes out with that oil. So there's nothing left in there, and at that point, you should have really clean internals. Every once in a while, we have a vehicle that's so dirty that we would advise run a second dose of a full clean out, and that's usually because they had a short interval,
So is there a maximum amount of time I should keep this in the engine?
The whole time.
So whether it's, even if I run, say, 10,000 miles?
You put it in with fresh oil, you leave it in there for the full interval. We got analogies for days. This is a Chris analogy. He always says, well, when you're washing your clothes, do you put the detergent in halfway through the cycle?
Right, yep.
No, why would you do that? You put it in right at the beginning.
That's a good analogy.
That's a Chris, he's got good ones. I got bad ones. But you put it in with fresh water, get some nice powerful detergent in there, and start cleaning for the whole washer cycle. That's what we're doing just inside the engine.
So what about when you first add it to your oil change, right? You're doing the service, you know, gas car, right? Maybe I got 6 quarts capacity. I need, what is it for 6 quarts? You need 8 ounces?
Well, full clean out is 4 ounces per quart. That'd be 24.
Yeah. So, right, initial clean out. So do I just fill up my normal 6 quart capacity and add this on top?
We always want to stick with the manufacturer's recommended fill level. So, easiest way I always tell people, pour half your capacity in there of your oil, put your exact dosage of the Stiction Eliminator in there that you need, and then go back to your oil and top off to your fill line. I know there's some products on the market that are knockoffs of our product.
Right.
There's engine cleaners out there, and then there's straight up knockoffs, we'll just say. And there's a difference in those. Those actually say that you can put it on top of the oil.
Yeah.
That makes no sense at all.
I don't understand it.
I've really looked into this. The argument they try to make is that it gets absorbed and soaks into the metal, which is impossible. It does not happen. So you really don't want being a little bit high on your oils, okay, depending on the vehicle. Like, it's not going to be that damaging the vehicle. You might burn a little oil if you're too high. But if you go, there's a point at which you can start causing damage. There's a recommended oil level on your vehicle for a purpose. And that's where the manufacturer wants. leave it there. The only time I would ever say that some people have found any type of gain from not being at the recommended oil level is the G56 transmission. Those guys tend to put extra oil in, but that's a problematic transmission, which we developed G56 TransFlow that you don't have to do that with. But short of that really unique transmission, I want to be right where the manufacturer spec is. So always fill to the fill line on the vehicle. The amount of product you put in will displace oil.
Yep.
Which also saves you money too. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but
It does,
we always tell
yeah.
people that. It's like, if you're putting a quart of this in, that's a quart less of oil that you have to buy. So
Exactly.
it's a little bit of payback on buying the product.
Well, have you used it?
Yeah, I used it. Every used car I've bought in.
Well, that's the thing with the used car. You don't know what the hell happened before with previous owners, how they took care
It's
of
a
it.
great way to like clean the slate,
Yeah.
start fresh. And
Yeah.
here goes another analogy, another story. Chris and I used to describe this as the ability to freeze time. So of all the damage that a motor naturally eats itself over time and produces carbon that clogs up the engine, and gets bad. So if you find one of those used cars out there, and right now we know used cars are expensive, car market's hit really hard. If you find one that actually runs pretty good, high miles for a good price, grab it, go straight to Stiction Eliminator. Because if it's held on that long and still running good, we have the capability of kind of like putting a timeout on that engine wear. So whatever kind of history it had for the first couple 100,000 miles of it, it made it that far and held together pretty good. Well, now what we're going to do at that level is clean it out, reduce the wear more than it's ever seen, and extend its life. So it's a great value for an older vehicle or a high mileage vehicle to get it clean and keep it running well. I've always said this is a perfect product for car dealerships. A used car dealership, if I was a used car dealership, I would buy this by the cases, and I would put a 16-ounce bottle in every single car that came on the lot, because it really makes a used vehicle run better. To address that point also on the flip side, if you're buying a brand new car, would you use this?
Would I?
Yeah.
I would.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Is it necessary?
It's not necessary. Because there's no stiction buildup. There's no
stiction
issues. But I'm thinking about that 62% reduction in wear.
Right.
I mean, that's what's in my head.
Now,
I want to make that last as long as possible.
I go with the FR3.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Right. Because that's the follow-up product to the clean out, heavy cleanse versus on the heavy lubrication
But in
side.
the sense of needing to clean it out, that's not necessary.
No.
But the wear reduction is what I'm looking for.
Absolutely.
At that
So you
point.
can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
FR3 is a little bit better price point, so you can save a little bit of money there. They both have a cleansing property to them and a lubricating property to them. I would just say that the cleanser's heavier in the Stiction Eliminator. The FR3's got more of a lubricating side to it. But you can't go wrong using this in any engine, new or old. You're just going to see more of a gain out of a more higher mileage engine because there's more to clean.
Well, so that's the question. If I get a used car or say a brand new car, I'm not noticing any issues, right? Stiction's not built up. We recommend using it because we know it's happening. We know Stiction's starting to build up, starting to take place. But maybe it gets to a point where we know it's so bad. What are some of the symptoms that you say, oh, shoot, yeah, I got some problems here that I need to clean out my engine? What are some of the things that the car is going to be doing?
Well, the first thing is you're not going to notice a lot of it. It's kind of like the thing you kind of get used to the weird quirkiness of a car you drive that gets some higher mileage. This is what amazes a lot of people who use the product. Is like, I didn't think my vehicle was running that bad until I put this in. It's like, man, it's running so great. I should have done this earlier, So, but everything from, it's like the same thing we see with a similar product of ours for the transmission, our shift restore. We're getting in there and cleaning out the valve body. Same thing on the engine side. All these tight tolerances, as we build up varnish levels on them, it affects the oil flow. It affects the wear on everything where we have a tight tolerance. So you're going to feel sluggish, sluggish acceleration. Your idle can vary.
Yeah.
You're just putting more. You're making the engine work harder to just remain the same, RPM, if you will. Like I used the old Johnny Gilbert dyno he had on that when he put the FR3 in. That's one of the components in here. He had his truck on the dyno measuring cubes of fuel used at idle. He did this accidentally, and when they poured it in, he watched the cubes of fuel drop. They noticed on the dyno chart. So what that was telling them is that it was by lubricating it, cleaning out any varnish, that type of thing, getting the engine to get to its peak potential that it was built for, it now is requiring less fuel to run at a level that it was before. So you're just making it more efficient. You're taking a lot of strain off the engine. You look like you got something.
No, we just got a bunch of shout outs.
We like shout outs.
And they're specific in their testimonials.
We like those. Bring them on.
So Matt Wells says, I've got 3 7.3 liter diesel engines in a 03 Excursion, a 96 and an 03 F250, and they use Stiction Eliminator, and all of them enjoys it. Super happy with it.
You want to sell your Excursion? I want one.
Terry Howard says, I was amazed when I saw the inside of the engine on the Jeep. It literally looked brand new when I took the valve cover off at 255,000 miles. I run Stiction in Betty White. I've run Stiction in Betty White, RIP, for 40,000 miles so far. 25 miles per gallon is what she gets driving me to O'Reilly's every day.
Wow. I see Betty White. Nice rig. Cool. So, any other points that you have there?
I don't have anything else on Stiction Eliminator.
I just really want to drive home. This is the best engine cleaner on the market. Period. We'll stand behind it fully.
Money back guarantee.
Yeah, money back guarantee as we put on all our products. But if you're one of those people that always thought this was a diesel product only or a Huey product only, give it a try. If you've got a vehicle with anything over say 40,000 miles, at 30,000 miles you already have some varnish buildup.
Yeah.
If you're finding something at 150,000 and you've never done an engine clean, you wouldn't believe what one bottle will do over an oil change to your vehicle. So I highly recommend it. It's one of those products that you give a shot. And if you have this is also like I always say about FR3. Sometimes when people say, "Oh, I got a little bit left," I'll just go ahead and pour it in. Don't. If you got a little bit left, go find your lawnmower. Go find your weed whacker. Go find different type of applications. And a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. It's just a really good product to clean out any engine.
And don't wait till you have a problem either, right?
Don't
You can use it as a preventative maintenance product too.
We did have one question that popped up. Well, Matt Wells says he wished he knew you were shopping for a car.
I'm just shopping for an Excursion diesel.
He had an 02, but he traded it in for a smaller vehicle for his wife.
Oh, man.
You got to jump on that stuff faster. But Jeremy Pundit asks, when are you guys going to make an engine oil for a not deleted 2.8 liter Duramax?
We got it.
We got one.
Not deleted 2.8 liter Duramax. That's the new. Is that the what do you call it? The EcoBoost?
Their variation.
2.8, or is that a gas application?
That's all.
Say.
Jeremy, if you got more, chuck it at us, Mud, because I can only tell you what's in the.
What was? You say it again? It was.
So he's got a not deleted 2.8 liter Duramax.
Yeah, you could use any of our oils.
Yeah. I didn't understand. Why was the confusion?
Yeah. So yeah, that would. The only thing you don't want to use in a DPF system, a not deleted Duramax, would be any of our high zinc oils, which would be all of our adrenaline racing oils and our Black Diamond. Our Black Diamond Outlaw oil would not be a good application because that high zinc package, when it passes through to the particulate filter, not a good thing. It just clogs them up prematurely. So if you have a DPF, don't use those. But our Green Diamond, we have everything from a Group 2, Group 3 blend. We have a Group 3 Green Diamond. We can go up to the Blue Diamond level, which is a pure Group 4. We got pretty much everything now in from a 540, 1540, 1030, and new 30 weights. Yep. So, yeah, feel free to give us a call if you need help picking out an oil of that. But that Duramax should have no problem with any of those oils.
Yeah. They're all on the website. You can go check it out. All right, so any last remarks on Stiction Eliminator?
I see Jeremy said, called yesterday and was told you guys don't have one for my application. It calls for Dexos 25W30.
530?
Interesting. Hey, Jeremy, why don't you give me a call? Call back in on Monday and ask for me, all right? I'll look into that. So there is one issue there. We do not have a 5W30 in those diesel-specific oils. There's two things we could do for you. One, we could look at our Gray Diamond, which is our Euro oil. Yep. It's an SN spec as well as meets all the diesel spec as well. So we have that exact weight available in our gray diamond oil, which is a great oil as well. And it's good for DPF systems as well, so you're free to use it. Or we can talk about using a 10W30. Specifically, I don't know where you're at, but really that winter weight, the difference between a 530 and a 1030 means nothing really if you're in a warm climate. If you're in a colder climate and really cold, you probably would prefer a 5 weight winter over a 10 weight winter. But give me a call Monday, ask for me, and we'll see if we can't find the right oil for you. But we got something for that application for sure.
Repeat your name so he knows who he's asking for.
Steve
Steve Jobs. Kyle Fisher.
Yeah.
Give me a call and ask for me. Anything else there?
Just a couple of more shout outs. My mower, tractor, and van love Hot Shot products.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. I like people using it in all those
Yeah,
crazy.
that's Ryan Riddle.
Ryan.
The man himself.
I do have one thing. For all you guys who love our products so much, if you've got testimonials, call in and leave a voicemail with those testimonials.
We're gonna set that up.
Yeah, we just started taking some of that audio that you guys send us. We got a really great testimonial from a customer who was super happy with the product. He was using Diesel Extreme and then EDT Plus. His son started using EDT Plus, and we made a little video out of it and posted it online. And we love that kind of stuff. We love to show that we care about you guys and we listen to you and we have interactions with you guys. So if you've got testimonials or you just want to give us a shout out, call on in, talk to somebody, leave a voicemail, and as long as you're cool with it, we'll turn it into a video probably.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, even pull out your phone and record yourself.
Yeah,
We'll
just
use
email
it.
it
We'll
into somebody.
repost it.
We'll make you famous.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So something else really cool that we've been a part of for the past, it's been a few years now. Waypoint Vets. It's a charity organization called Waypoint Vets. They do some really cool things. They focus on getting veterans into the fold and go out and do these outdoor excursions.
All sorts of crazy stuff.
Mountain climbing and
river rafting, biking, all sorts of cool stuff.
yeah. And we're partnering with them again this year. We're super excited about it. But coming up soon, they're going to do their second annual charity ride and fundraiser. It's a 2-part event. And it supports all their adventures that they go on.
Do you have the date on that? Yeah, April 30th there.
Yeah, April 30th.
It's down in Tennessee, I believe, right?
Yep, it's in Tennessee, Gallatin, Tennessee. So if you're interested in that or just want to learn more about the program, go over to waypointvets.org.
And I'll tell you this is something really close to. We support a lot of veteran charities and first responder stuff.
And we even offer discounts on our website.
We do. If you're a veteran, you can get a discount on all our products. What's really cool about the Waypoint Vets that we're doing this year is Chris really pushes hard on this, and we're encouraging you to help them out. And how we're doing that is we're going to match every donation. I think Chris has pledged $50,000.
Yeah,
it's a ton of money.
Yeah.
So
for a great cause.
Yeah, and we have some really cool stuff coming up with Waypoint Vets over the years. But know that your dollar gets stretched by $1 every single time you donate to Waypoint Vets. Hot Shot Secret will match dollar for dollar up to $50,000 this year for this group to do some great work for our veterans out there. So if you're in the Tennessee area, if you got a motorcycle, they're having a ride. You can ride in. It's a beautiful country there. It's a great way to support this. If not, you can get I'm sure we got a link on our site or something through this, or we'll post it on our social media. You can go directly there and pledge a donation as well. And that way, Hot Shots will double it, you know, and we'll get more of those veterans out there to go through these excursions that really help transform these people and do the ones that protect us and do so much good for us. So it's a way to pay back. So
that's waypointvets.org. So go check that out.
Vets.org.
Yep. Before we wrap up, we got some sales going on, right?
I don't know. Do we?
Do we? Yeah, we do. We got a couple. One, big O'Reilly Auto Parts sale. So we got 2 quarts of Diesel Extreme and Stiction Eliminator, both on shelf, and both are on sale through the end of the month. So Diesel Extreme, $4 off. Stiction Eliminator is $7 off.
$7 off.
$7.
That's a good deal.
It's a really good deal. So you got.
So if everything we just told you today, if you just found out that Stiction Eliminator's good for your gas vehicles too, Great time to try it. Head over to your O'Reilly's, grab one of these big bottles. You'll be able to. This at that treat rate would be 32 quarts.
Yep.
You can get a lot done with one of these big boys here. So, go up to
So
O'Reilly's and grab
before the
one.
month's over, go stock up on those products, and then for our over-the-road truckers, and you know what, anybody that owns a diesel, you need to be a Pilot Rewards member. But
Oh yeah, right.
head to Pilot, buy 2 bottles of our 1 quart everyday diesel treatment, and you get $8 back in Pilot Rewards.
Those are the quart bottles.
So 1 quart, yep, and that runs through the end of April.
Gotcha.
So if you're a member
So that
at
would
Pilot,
quart treats 800 gallons, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's a
You're
lot of
stocking up.
product right there. Yep.
Yep. So take advantage of those.
Got any web sales? Where's Josh at? Josh missed out.
No web sales. I know we got some planned coming up soon.
All right, well, stay tuned to that.
We got some coming up. Yep.
Hey, and by the way, folks, we are hiring here. We have grown again. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people have
Business
heard.
is booming. You see that?
This isn't. It's true. We just got a new facility in Mount Gilead. We moved all of our shipping there, so now our main headquarters here is all production. So allow us to stretch out and get our production levels up. But we need help. We need people as we grow. So we have quite a few jobs that are open. You can go to hotshotseeker.com, about, and then careers, and you'll see everything there to sign up and put your name in the hat to come join our team. And then we might drag you on this set and ask you funny questions and stuff.
Be
too.
on live. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and as we always say, be in the loop. Make sure you've subscribed to our hotshotsecret.com/email. That gets you our email newsletter, which how often is that going out now?
Usually about every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Yep. So fresh newsletter content and everything. So that's where you can also find all these deals. And again, race season's around the corner, so we're going to have a lot of updates for that coming. We're really excited about not this weekend, but next weekend I'll be traveling down to Louisville to get
The
set up
Mid-American
for
Trucking Show. It's a big
Matt's.
show.
We're really excited about Matt's. Not only do we have a very large booth for Hot Shot Secret that has a very cool vehicle that I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell you about.
Yeah.
You got to wait to come see it in Matt's. There is going to be a very cool vehicle in our Matt's booth. And also, Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Live.
We're taking the show on the road.
That's right.
So we're going to have another booth at Matt's. We're going to be broadcasting the Steve Summers Overnight Drive radio program live from the booth. So you can still call in. It's not going to be midnight to 5.
Right.
We're going to have to like wake him up or something. He don't want us to do
Yeah,
it at
he
noon.
sleeps during the day.
So actually, I think it's noon to 5 the
Noon to
first.
5.
So
Then 11
he
to 4.
literally has an AM PM switch.
Yeah.
He's usually doing
Yeah.
midnight to 5. He's going to do noon to 5 Thursday and Friday, and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. We have an awesome giveaway there.
We do.
Bostrom has donated 3 of these incredibly expensive, really nice chairs for trucks, the
Yep.
seats. So we're going to be giving those away that you can register to win at the show.
Discounts
broadcasting
on
live.
product.
We're going to be, we have some specials too.
Yeah.
We're only going to be selling there. So if you're heading down to Matt's, if you need a ticket to Matt's, let us know. We have a VIP pass along that we can give to some
Yeah.
of our friends and partners. So let us know. We can help you out with that. And come on out and see us there. Stop by, see Steve. Maybe jump on air with Steve.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
maybe.
I'll go online. I'll go on there with him.
You will.
You're going to run out of town, and you're not going to be there.
I won't be there.
I'll go on with them.
You want to give us a shout out to dealers and what's that look like? How can somebody become a dealer?
Yeah, and thanks to everybody, we've been having a tremendous amount of incoming dealer opportunities. Past couple months have been crazy. We're trying to keep up with them,
Yeah.
so we're expanding huge on the dealer side. We're always looking for new dealers to bring our products to market. A lot of people know us. We talk about our Stiction Eliminator, Diesel Extreme. We just talked about the retail products on sale, EDT, everything. We have a very large catalog of products. I'm going to say over 50 now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So over 50 products that we offer. It's not that easy to get products into retail. Retail is very, very picky about what gets in there. So you might see 4 or 5, maybe 6 of our products at a couple places. But there is a whole catalog of products that allow our independent dealers to bring these really custom-built products to the market. And they're also our feedback, too. It's where we spot a lot of problems, new problems in the market, and develop products. So if you're looking to become a dealer, give us a call. We've got great specials going on all the time. If you're a fleet, we also have some fleet packages. We hope to see a lot of the fleets out at Matt's here in a couple weeks. We're going to be running a fleet special at Matt's, so come by the booth. We'll tell you all about that. And just another way to join the Hot Shot Secret family. We got a lot of demand for our product. We need help getting it out to people. So that's what we rely on. So give us a call. We'll tell you all about our dealer packages.
And we're going to close. We got a quick video on FAQs on Stiction Eliminator in case we miss anything.
I'm sure we did something.
Yeah, something.
We had like 10 bad analogies.
That's true. But that's all we got. So make sure you give this video a like, share it, let your friends know, and we'll be back.
Tell your friends this is good for gas vehicles. We're trying to let the world know.
Yeah. So we'll be back live in a few weeks.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
See you.